So, you know the poetry I've been diving into lately? Well, had a crazy idea today. Decided to compose my own VR-based poem. And it's no ordinary piece of paper poetry. No, it's a whole new VR space. So picture this. A world where poetic images aren't just confined to the rhythm of words, but they leap out in front of your eyes and immerse you in their metaphoric depth. Wild, right? How about a journey in my surreal VR world? Still a work in progress, though, losing myself in all the planning and visualization. Next thing, get this, Eric and Nina, you remember them, right? They suggested me merging my VR project with themes from Black Mirror, or maybe making a VR version of Among Us. Given that I'm presently engaged in exploring the poetic depths of VR, this posed an interesting challenge, one that I'm definitely not backing down from. This brings me to my crazy day full of brainstorming and fusing the realms of poetry, VR, and now, popular TV and gaming culture. Imagine VR Among Us. We'll spot imposters in a whole new way. Now that's what I call a gaming revolution. On the other note, it's funny how I can sometimes get caught up in my perfectionist tendencies. I was stressing about perfecting this VR space, and Nina had to remind me that even the moon has craters. I guess I do need to let go and just enjoy the creative process. Not everything has to be perfect. I gotta confess, I'm super excited about all this. Who would have thought, right? Me, Amy Lai, a digital artist turned poet, turned VR space designer. It's all so mixed, so varied, and yet it feels just right. Anyway, I digress. Just felt like you'd find it interesting, considering our shared love for all things unique and creative. Also, Nina claimed victory in an epic game of Among Us today, and Eric suggested avoiding any sort of tactical disasters, like his Valorant blunder. No promises, though. It's all part of the fun. Oh, and Eric's obsession with Black Mirror continues. He didn't forget to talk about the latest episode. I told him I was too caught up with my VR poetry project. That's when the whole idea of a VR Black Mirror episode came up. It's kinda amusing how our everyday chat weaves into something so exciting. What do you think? Imagine, you could walk through my poems and actually feel as if you're part of it. Many brilliant ideas are popping up. I believe this is more than just a project. It's an untapped journey waiting to unfurl. Anyway, I'm rambling. Creativity can be overwhelming sometimes. So today, I crossed something really awesome off my bucket list. You know that VR art contest I was planning? Well, it kicked off today. I mean, who would have known that combining VR and art could be this much fun? It's like diving into a whole new world of creativity, and the best part is that you can share it with everyone and they can experience it too. So, we had photographers, game designers, and even some of our friends from the digital art community participating. Samantha, Eric, Mila, Ben, Liam, they were all there too, and it was nothing short of amazing. I gotta say, the kind of designs and ideas they brought to the table, wow. It was a great feeling to see everyone put their creative minds to work. Guess who took the cake? Eric, yes, the same Eric who can't land a single shot in Valorant. He aced this VR art contest with a design that was as hilarious as it was innovative. He created a VR version of his epic Valorant fall. I mean, talk about taking a joke to the next level, right? Anyway, speaking about the contest, you'd never believe the kind of participation we got. It's crazy how VR technology has opened up so many doors to new forms of creativity. People were not just creating art, but they were walking through it, living it. Now remember the coffee tasting idea that popped up in our chat the other day? Yeah, I'm thinking of giving that a shot next. A VR coffee tasting session, where everyone could taste Nina's favorite and ridiculously expensive, mocha macchiato, virtually. I think it could be hilarious and quite exciting, don't you think? Oh, and did I tell you about the latest? Eric and I are teaming up for a VR Star Trek experience, and if we pull it off, it's going to be stellar, literally. All these fresh and fun ideas are getting me revved up for more. It'll be great if you could join us too. By the way, our usual casual chats have started feeling like brainstorming sessions lately, don't you think? It's like we're constantly coming up with these new ideas, and I just love it. It's like turning everyday conversations into something extraordinary, don't you think? All right, I think I've yapped enough for the day. It's been a long day, hosting a contest, and with all the excitement, it's wearing me out a bit. Man, do I have something to tell you. Today was all about stepping into the future. I enrolled in this fresh futuristic 3D modeling course, and I'm not kidding. It's like that scene from The Matrix when they download all these skills into your brain. VR design proficiency on steroids right on the horizon. And yes, you guessed right. The class was scattered with pocket protectors and more techie lingo than a startup meeting. But you know what? I loved every nanosecond of it. Stepping up my game in the VR world, and I'm feeling the vibes. My instructor, Tim, is like the Yoda of 3D modeling, and this course is my Dagobah, green and misty with knowledge. Nancy, my new fellow learner, is super pumped up. Feels like a tech fellowship of sorts, The Geek Squad uniting upon the mountain of binary code. In our chat today, Nina and Eric were, as usual, on top of their banter game. It all started with a little Valorant jab at Eric. I just couldn't help myself and teamed up with Nina, giving Eric some epic roasts about his gaming skills. The laughs we shared, man, those are the moments that light up my day. Eric and Nina asked about my new 3D course, and of course, they were full of encouragement, as always. Oh, and we had this sweet exchange where they complimented my tech creds. Can't lie, Sonia, it feels good to be recognized for my work, even if it's just a friendly jest. Though I must confess, I did pull them into the VR bandwagon a few times. I wonder if Eric's ready to take the leap. Tag, you remember it, don't you? Man, has it come a long way. It feels surreal how much I've progressed since then. Momentously grateful for all the experiences, learnings, people, and laughter on the journey. Oh, I almost forgot. You remember us joking about creating a VR version of coffee tasting? Almost felt like I carried that brainstorming spirit from our chat to my class and dived headfirst into this wild, wild world of 3D. Guess all this learning and excitement is kinda tiring and I've gotta pace myself. Otherwise, I'll burn out faster than Eric in Valorant. And my new mantra is, slow and steady wins the tech race. I still have a long way to go with this course, and I can't wait to explore more of this VR frontier. Don't get me started on my shower thoughts today. What if I converted this course material into a VR experience? Maybe I'll create a designer's world inside my VR portfolio. An inception of a sort, what do you think? Anyway, all this rambling made me forget that I have studying to do. If I don't watch out, I might end up a tech burnout.